Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokémon Insurgence. I hope everybody is staying happy, healthy, and safe. On the last part, we finally made our way here to Miara Town. We made it through the steamy cave that's over here. Or actually, the Cave of Steam. I don't know why, but I keep wanting to call it the Steamy Cave. It's basically the same thing. But here in Miara Town, we explored a bit, and we eventually made our way here to the Miara Town Library. So at the entrance, we battled either Damien or Nora, and inside the library we found the Grand Prophecy, which spoke of how one of the members chosen by the legendaries would take down all the cults but betray their friends. Damien kind of took it calmly, and Nora kind of freaked out on him. She kind of showed her ugly side and really hurt him, it seems. I'm really curious to see what people actually think of these two characters, usually by this point in the game. Because this is kind of the point in the game where you start to see them as characters where you kind of know what they're all about. Like, Damien is really friendly, he's kind of a teamwork person. He's usually trying to help. He might not succeed, but he usually does try. Nora, on the other hand, is a bit of an overachiever. She kind of does her own thing. I feel like if we weren't as good as we were, she would not respect us, that's for sure. But that's just kind of my thoughts. I'm curious to what other people think. I know most people usually feel bad for Damien, and a lot of people seem to hate Nora. But either way, back to the actual playthrough. So aside from that, when we were exploring the Miara Town Library, we found a few books that some of the citizens would like to know. So if we come in here, we can talk to this karate guy over here. And we did him a favor by finding the fighting type compendium inside of the library. So he has a reward for us. So because he is a bit short on cash right now, he will give us the Cacturnite. So yeah, Cacturn does have a custom Mega Evolution in this game. We'll be showing that off a little bit later, but right now I can't actually get a hold of the Cacturn to show that off with, so that's really unfortunate. No, that's not the right house actually, I think it's this one. But this is the other house of the lady that wanted us to find a book, and she doesn't really give us anything. She gives us money, which I kind of need at the moment. You may notice that my cash stack is a little bit low here, and that's mostly because I did a lot of training actually in between parts. So I trained up the Pidgey and I trained up the Badoo as well. They're not evolved yet though. So I'll be talking about those in just a little bit, or actually we could evolve them right now probably. If I go ahead and go into my bag, I can pop out some rare candies here, and I can drop one on Badoo. Delta Roselia looks pretty cool. Keep in mind that Delta Badoo is like normal Badoo in the fact that it is a happiness evolution, but it needs to be leveled up at night in order to evolve. And if you're having trouble getting the happiness requirements, you can always go to the Helios department store, get those EV lowering berries, and raise its happiness that way. So for its final evolution, unlike the regular Badoo or Roselia, you don't use a shiny stone, but you use a dust stone, which I should have one somewhere here. Right, there we go. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of things that I really like to do with Roserade here. I really wish it learned Calm Mind naturally. That would be so good, especially with the ability that it has. But otherwise, it's kind of glass cannon-y. It doesn't really learn any great moves by level up either, which is really, really unfortunate. I mean, Draining Kiss is actually amazing. But besides that, nothing too great, so I'm just going to evolve it here now, and hopefully I can find some TMs later on, and we can make it pretty good. So next up is going to be Pidgey, but actually it'll be fine, I'll show it off after. So I'm going to level up Pidgey by 1. And this will give us Pidgeotto. I'm going to go ahead and level up Pidgeotto by one more level, and we should get Pidgeot from this. So that's actually pretty cool. So what I want to show off really quickly with Pidgeot is if you have a Pokemon with Roost, you can actually use that move outside of battle to restore HP. So like you saw right there, it actually gained HP from using Roost, which is pretty cool, honestly. I'm really glad they gave Roost a sort of out of battle use. My thought process here is, in a game like this, why would you actually have moves like Roost or Recover when you could actually just use potions unless you're playing some sort of item banned playthrough, right? So anyways, I'm here inside of my secret base because I want to show off a couple of things with Pidgeot. So after you evolve your Pidgeotto into Pidgeot, you should notice that you'll have a few new moves available to you if you go to the move relearner. One is Medusa Ray, which basically turns the opponent into a rock type. It doesn't really do anything beyond that, which is kind of disappointing. I mean, I don't know. I can't think of anything good to actually use this with, unfortunately. And it should also have Outrage available to it, so I'll be using that. If you actually go through the list of available moves for this thing to learn, you'll find that there's actually some decent special attacking options here. But I will not be taking those. Instead, I'll likely be taking probably Outrage, Sucker Punch, Glare, and Dragon Dance. I think for now I'll be using a Dragon Dance set. I think that'll be fine. But either way, with all of this taken care of, I think we've hung out in Miara Town just a little bit too long. So it's time to make our way here to Route 8. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and spray some Repel. The encounters should be on the screen for just a little bit. There's actually some pretty cool ones on here. None of them that I personally like, though. Down over here, we can actually find a rare candy. And if I make my way over here, we can come down here and find a quick ball. So if we continue on over here, eventually we should be able to surf right up over here and grab a max repel. So again, that's pretty nice. And there is one more notable item, one really good item that you should grab. And it's pretty hard to miss. There is another ability capsule all the way up over here. So thankfully it is a visible item on the map, so you shouldn't miss it, but still. Also, inside of this hut here is going to be a bug catcher. Ever since Pika Taxi became popular, nobody really has a need for the HMO2 anymore. I'd sell it to you, but I wouldn't blame you for not wanting to pay for it. You can just have it for free. So that's pretty cool. If you have a Pokemon that really wants flying coverage, that could be for you. Or if you have a Dragonite, I think Dragonite only gets that. Besides wing attack. So anyways, over here we're going to have the Route 8 Hidden Grotto. I'm just going to go ahead and save right here. And we're going to go ahead and enter it. And I actually got it on the first try. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and check it out. This is going to be the Delta Munchlax. So Delta Munchlax and Delta Snorlax, its evolution, are going to be essentially mono grass types. They have some pretty good coverage and some pretty good abilities too. I think it does have Thick Fat, which is actually really cool because it reduces the weaknesses of the grass typing. I'm pretty sure it has Earthquake by level up, as well as Wood Hammer. And I'm not sure what else, but Snorlax in general is a pretty good Pokemon. So we're going to go ahead and capture that. Also, something to note is that Munchlax learns Yawn, but Snorlax does not, so you might want to keep it as a Munchlax until it learns Yawn, if you want that move. Delta species discovered by Sparrows 413. Pokemon lays in the fields all day after eating, absorbing nutrients from the sun. So this Pokemon is also the Pokemon that was mentioned in the book in the UTR library by the scientist that defected from the Perfection Cult. So that's also something that's kind of interesting right there. I'm going to go ahead and spray some Repel, and we are going to leave and enter Miara Town. Miara Town, my favorite place in Tauren. What a lovely, lovely town. It's peaceful, serene, and built over the shining sea. And of course, the Whirl Islands now rest the route away. It's almost a shame, really. Perhaps when I flood the region, I'll leave this town for last. At last, the sea is awakening once more. It's time to bring its king his crown. Well, if that isn't foreboding. The blue lady gives me the willies. Doesn't seem very friendly. No, she doesn't. You don't want to be friends with her. So, aside from that, we have now made our way here to Miara Town. And there's a lot of things we can do here. First off, there's a lot of berry trees around. So the two notable berries here are going to be the citrus berry and this chesto berry on this tree over here. So out of all the berries here, this is probably the only consistent chesto berry you can grab each and every playthrough. Because the only other chesto berry you're going to be grabbing is going to be by chance from the berry lady in Miara Town. So that's actually pretty crazy, and there is going to be a good use for it later on. Over here, we're going to have a hidden rare candy, and if we talk to this lady out here, she'll tell us that we don't really look too prepared, and she'll give us some revives. If we make our way up here to this hut here, or this town, or this house, rather, and if we talk to this wonderful lady over here, she will give us some Ultra Balls. So far, so good. Again, we're not really doing anything different compared to what we usually do whenever we enter a new town. We're just running around, grabbing freebies from all of its citizens. Over here, if we talk to the Sunflora, it will actually have a Dawnstone for us, which is a pretty big item. And finally, we will make our way here, this trading hall, or trading center. So in this trading center, there's various Pokemon, or various NPCs that want to trade their Pokemon away to you. I also want to clear something up. There is a NPC in this town that will tell you that these various trainers might have a chance at holding a shiny Pokemon or trading a shiny Pokemon to you. And none of these Pokemon are consistently shiny. Not one of these NPCs will trade you a guaranteed shiny Pokemon. They have the usual chance at being shiny, but they're not guaranteed to be shiny. So, this lady over here will trade you a Slugma, and she's like the third person to try to trade us a Slugma, which is kind of weird. This girl over here will trade us a Tropius for a Vibrava. Oh, that's pretty cool. This guy will trade us a Machoke for a Beedrill. I actually kind of like this trade a lot because obviously the Machoke is going to evolve when it's traded over. Not that you couldn't fix that anyways. This man over here is going to trade his Haunter for a Vigoroth, and again, it would evolve when he traded it to you, unlike certain other people named Mindy and Sinnoh. And this person doesn't have anything for us. But this lady over here does. I probably have the rarest Pokemon in the building. Delta Pokemon. It's a coughing, to be specific. If you want to trade for it, I'll need something valuable in return. How about pseudo-legendary Pokemon? Or, at the very least, one of its pre-evolutions. So, we have a few options. At this point, you could potentially fish at certain places for a Dratini, but it's like a 1% rate of finding it. Or, if you remember correctly, the casino in Rogan Town actually offers a few pseudo-legendary Pokemon such as Goomy, or I believe Gibble, for roughly 70,000 Pokédollars worth of coin. Yeah, if you were wondering earlier why I was so poor, this is actually the reason. So, I'm going to go into my PC here. Let's quickly organize it. And I'm going to grab Scoomy. I guess Roserade can go into the PC for now. With Scoomy, we can go back to the trading center or the trading hall, and we can trade this lovely lady over here for her Delta Coughing. So Delta Coughing is not that impressive. So let's check it out in our party. Aimed at Nerd, she clearly does not love it. It is a dual electric flying type, which is actually a really cool typing. I really like it. So if we check over here, it has the ability Amplifier, boosting sound-based moves. It could also be the ability Cloud9, and I don't remember what its hidden ability is, but that's kind of irrelevant at the moment. So its moveset is kind of bad, but I think the real thing that holds this thing back is the fact that it is eventually going to evolve into a Weezing, which Weezing isn't that good at anything. The good news is, though, however, it does learn Thunder, and it does learn Hurricane, which means in the rain, you have 100% accurate Thunders and 100% accurate Hurricanes, both stab coming from one Pokemon. And that's basically it for this thing. It also does learn Boom Burst for coverage, so you might be into that. There's a few other things you could probably try to do with this. I have a really weird idea that I might try, but my weird ideas usually don't go too well. Anyways, with all this taken care of, we can finally head over here. So this is actually the museum, believe it or not, despite the fact that the music is kind of scary. If we head down to the bottom floor of the museum, you'll notice that we could actually head out of here, but this Crawdant is in the way. This Crawdant looks like it's ready to pick up and toss anyone that tries to pass through here. Is it looking for someone? Some lady just stormed in here and left her Crawdant at the exit over there. Now I can't go swimming. That's unfortunate. So despite the kind of creepy music, this is the Miara Town Museum. We're going to go ahead and pay the entrance fee, as if I wasn't poor enough as it is. Over here we can talk to a hiker, or yeah, the fossil maniac, and he will revive your fossils. Unfortunately, this guy is kind of out of luck because we've had access to the secret base for so long, and inside the secret base you could have had a fossil maniac of your own. If we move over here, we can talk to this guy, however, and he ordered these fossils from the gift shop, but gave him more than he needed. So he'll give us one instead because he doesn't need it, and he'll give us the Plume Fossil. The Plume Fossil is actually the fossil for Archeops and Arkin. That's pretty cool. Also, I want to point out this hiker because this may confuse some people. He loves exploring museums and learning about the past, and he mentions he would like to see a Kabutops or even an Aerodactyl. Well, there's nothing special about that, unfortunately. If you decide to bring those to him, he won't give you anything, so don't waste your time if you're thinking about it. Instead, we're going to come down here to the bottom floor and make our way over here. I'm sorry, but this blue orb was donated to us by an important sponsor. It's very valuable, I'll need to accompany you if you want to take a closer look. Sound good? Sure. This orb has quite the history. Powered Kyogre back in the days of the beginning of the universe. Was also involved in the Aquahoan conflict 50 years ago. Was used by Archie to revert Kyogre to its primal form. Was generously donated to us by someone who wishes to remain... Oh, no way. Ah, hello, miss. I was just in a speech about this orb. Perhaps you... Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm only here for the relic. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I can't... Save it. Let's make this easy for both of us. I'm sure you know of the Abyssal Cult. You mean the terrorist? You trying to intimidate me? Well, yes, actually. I'm kind of a murderer. It'd be easier for us if you both moved. You don't even look like one of their members. That's because I'm not. I'm the leader. Thank you. What are you planning on doing with it? Well, you tell me. What could the leader of the Abyssal Cult possibly want the artifact of Lugia? You must want it to summon... Wait, what? The blue orb is Kyogre's artifact, not Lugia's. Ah, here it is. Secret compartment. Clever. It's hard to believe the title bell was this easy to find. Title bell. But... Please, why would I want some cheap plastic ball when Lugia's bell is resting underneath it? But that's the blue orb, the legendary artifact for Kyogre. You're absolutely right. But that's not the orb. A fake? How do you know? And how did you know the bell was there? The best place to hide something is in plain sight. Nobody would think to look for the bell next to a fake orb. And, well, this cheap plastic ball here, I donated it. Why? Well, as the leader of the Abyssal Cult, everyone assumes I'm after Kyogre. Naturally, people don't want me getting my hands on the blue orb. Having a copy that's in a guarded museum, well, what better way to make everyone think I don't already have it? And don't think I haven't noticed you there, I see. You're the one that Mew chose. You want to stop me? Bring it. I'll be waiting. To the south of Miara Town lies the current location of the Whirl Islands. When you're ready to lose, stop on by. She knew your name. Who exactly are you? I need to report this incident to my superiors. Oh man, I'm going to be in so much trouble. That's unfortunately all she wrote. We're going to go ahead and leave the museum. We've done everything we can do here. And because she has left and she's taken her Crawdant with her, we can now exit to the lower portion of Miara Town, which allows us access to the Pika Taxi and also access to surf around as we want. So if we surf around to the back of the museum, we'll find an entrance to the Miara archaeological site. If I spray some repel right here, you can run along this cave here. You can actually find a hidden nugget right over here. And finally, at the end of the cave, we'll find this guy. Oof, oof. Yeah, you're just a kid. Can't just sneak up on me while I'm scheming back here. Huh? Who am I? Alright, I'll tell you. But you've got to swear to me not to tell anyone else I'm back here in exchange. Bish? There's no need for me to tell you my name, and there's no need for you to tell me yours. All you need to know is that I happened to find this cave a while ago, and have been working on clearing out as much of it as I can. I've been selling most of my finds to the museum, aside for a nice profit. Alright, that enough to satisfy your curiosity? And how about letting me get back to... Actually, wait a minute. Are you a trainer? I figured you were by the way you're dressed. And your companion following behind you. Listen, I've gotten quite a number of fossils while I've been digging in here. I still have yet to find a fossil for one Pokemon in particular. Aerodactyl. If I could just get my hand on the last artifact, and I could offer to complete the museum's fossil display for a significant amount of money. If you're willing to help me out, I can make it worth your while. Fossils aren't the only thing I've found down here. I'd be willing to part with some of the rarest items in my collection. Like, say, a Megastone, perhaps. So, if you happen to come across something that holds the remains of an Aerodactyl, come back and pay me a visit. We can complete the trade. So, he's actually offering you the Aerodactylite if you can offer him an old amber. So, that's pretty cool. If you have an old amber, which could take a bit of grinding on some Rock Smash Rocks, but if you do have one, you could offer that to him and get the Megastone for your Aerodactyl, assuming you bother to find two. Over here is going to be some more berries. You should be able to talk to some of these flower gardens here and actually find Sunkern. Unfortunately, I won't be catching one for the moment. However, Sunflora does have its own unique Mega Evolution later on. So maybe that makes up for the fact that Sunflora is perhaps the weakest Pokemon in the game aside from its pre-evolution Sunkern? Maybe. Finally, over here, you will have a bit of a side quest. Ahoy there! You look like a strapping young trainer. I think you could help me out with a little something. Use the help of a mighty Pokemon user like yourself. So I would say yes right now. However, I do need to go to the PC and grab some Pokemon so that I can kind of split up the experience that I'm getting. So I'm now back with the Pokemon that I want to train up, and I'm going to go ahead and say yes this time. See, I'm a sailor around these parts. I organize trade between Torren and places like Kanto, Alola. The island I've been using for storing goods has been ransacked. Thieves by pirates. Do you think you could help me clear it out? I'd pay ye. Good to hear. Shall I take you there now? Let's be off then. Thank ye again. So he will take us to this island over here. There's going to be a ton of thugs like that wandering around. I'm going to go ahead and clear out most of them. Alright, so now that I've cleared out all the burglars and pirates except for one, you can go around the island, or I should say trade outpost, and grab some items like that rare candy. Most of these are visible, and most of these are actually pretty good. So over here we'll actually find Solar Beam, which is a pretty good item. We'll also find something really unique on some of these boxes over here. So I think you right here. Yeah, there is going to be an X Speed 3. So that will raise your Pokemon speed stat by 3 stages, which is actually insane. Granted, these X speeds or any of the X items for any of the stages actually kind of exist in most of the games, but it's still crazy. Over here we should also find an X Attack 3, It's kind of crazy to actually find these in the game. With these, you could turn just about anything into some sort of physical sweeper, which is crazy. All the way down over here... Okay, there's nothing. I think we grabbed everything. It doesn't feel right, but alright. And eventually we'll make our way over here to this room where the boss man is. That's right. I'm the boss man. Tell me, kid, you really think you stand a chance? I've been looting and plundering since you were just a wee babe. Bring it on. We'll never clear out of the trade outpost. It's just a regular trainer battle, but he does have a Haxorus. Pretty insane. I'm just going to Mega here. And we're going to curb stomp this Haxorus. Get out of here. Also, I'm using the Munchlax to soak up a lot of the experience because I don't want to level. What? How? You can't beat me. Boss said I have to protect him so nobody finds out. Spilled the beans, didn't I? Real boss didn't want anyone finding out. Fine, go ahead and face the boss. If he can lead our little group from behind the scenes as a Pokemon, he can take you out. Oh, really? And this turns out to be the boss. So this is going to be Delta Axew. So what can I say about this Pokemon? Well, it is a pretty strong one. It has the potential to have the Strong Jaw ability, which would boost its Fang type attacks. It starts off as a water type, but eventually it will evolve into a water steel Delta Haxorus. And given that it has Haxorus's insane stats, and by that I mean its insane 147 base attack, it's still pretty good. It also has Sword Stance, so you can seriously do some damage with that. But it does have a pretty good physical move pool, and I think it also does have Aqua Jet as priority, so it can hit like a truck with that as well. Delta species discovered by No Name Dummy. It takes large bites out of docked boats, forcing local fishermen to invest in boats made of extremely strong metal. So I will send that to PC. And with that, we can actually leave the area. We have done our job, and we might as well go talk to Sailor and just tell him what's going on here. Wow. Found what was attracting all these thieves and pirates to me den. One, Delta Pokemon. Shiver me timbers. Would have never guessed. Listen, I owe you one. Let me pay ye for your troubles. Till I take ye back to the mainland. For a sailor, he talks an awful lot like a pirate. But either way, we are going to be moving on. So we were challenged by the leader, the Abyssal Cult. And we will now be heading down here. The Stormy Seas. We'll have some encounters up on the screen for just a little bit. There's not a lot to see or to do here at the moment. We can, however, find the TM for Thunderwave down here. I want to mention that there are a couple of weird dive spots you might want to keep in mind. Don't have dive just yet though, but we'll have it sooner than you think, so might want to keep it in mind. Eventually we'll make our way all the way over here to the Whirl Islands. It's kind of weird to see it over here, but that's okay. It's kind of welcome. Over here we'll find a Hyper Potion, and you might notice something weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's right, there are 5 entrances to these Whirl Islands. Not 4 like the ones you're used to in Johto. 5. So that could be a little bit confusing for you. Thankfully, I do kind of know my way around, so we are going to start all the way over down here. Also, before we even start, I should probably point this out as well, just for future reference, but there is a dive spot over here, but eventually we'll be coming back. But we'll be starting over here with the Southeastern Entrance. So down here, there really isn't much. I think there's like a timer ball. And the only other thing of note is going to be down over here. So there's going to be a silhouette tile puzzle that I'm not going to do, I'll save for later. There's going to be a hidden rare candy, and there's going to be the icy rock. This rock appears to be made of solid ice. Could it be responsible for the massive temperature drop on this floor? Probably. So that's basically it for this entrance. This entrance is a standalone entrance, thankfully. And by that I mean, the other two entrances do kind of loop back into each other. This one does not. So to show that off, I'll actually go to the entrance to the left this time. And right over here, if we surf all the way over here, head down over here, head past that cultist, surf over this body of water, and up these stairs. We can then surf over here and head out this entrance, and yeah, we looped around. But the good news is that does eliminate 3 entrances from you having to run around and check. So that means chances are this entrance over here is going to be the one, right? Well, actually, it is. So if we surf all the way down over here, our way, right over here, eventually you might be curious and surf over here, but be very careful. This is actually a ledge. You can jump over it, and you'll have to make your way back over here, so try not to do that. Instead, we're going to be making our way over here. And again, you can also actually get here from the other entrance. If you do so, I think there's like another timer ball up there or something, but nothing too important. Either way, our goal is going to be all the way down over here. Down here, we'll actually reach the floor where we saw the icy stone last, except we'll be on a different level. And eventually, we will reach the bottom floor. So yeah, you only have to use the upper left entrance, or I believe it would be northwest entrance. Reach the end. You definitely want to save right here though, because once you pass this point, you've reached a point of no return. I was getting worried you wouldn't show up. After all, we wouldn't want to start without our special snowflake hero, would we? The Whirl Islands are home to one of the oldest living creatures. Lugia, the guardian of the sea, the storm slinger, hasn't graced us. Its presence since the days of gold. But now the Whirl Islands, its home, have returned. The domain of a legendary Pokemon isn't an ordinary place. It's connected to that Pokemon's artifact. That's why the Hall of Origin only appeared to Dawn when she brandished the Azure Flute. And now I have the bell that'll bend to my will. Now merge, Lugia. You will be mine. You will become my pawn. And soon, the world will tremble in fear. Welcome, Stormslinger. My name is Audrey. I'm the leader of the Abyssal Cult. Your strength and my leadership, this planet could be ours. We have great plans for the world, Lugia. We need your help to pull them off. What do you say? Will you join us? Will you work under me? you satisfied? Did you see what you came to see? Of course you aren't. But want to battle? Here's the thing. Even if you win, it's not like I'll release Lugia and leave. Why would I? Beating me won't change a thing. Walked right into a trap. You win, you get nothing. If I win, everything. Your friends, your life, and your chance at saving the region. I'll give you a chance to prepare. I won't indignify the Storm Slinger by having it fight a weakened opponent. Let me know when you're ready to battle. However, as you'll see here, we can't escape. If we try to move there, the cultist will just push us back. It's kind of crazy, but it's really cool too. So now is the time to show off my team. I'm teal. Okay, that's fine. I have hyper potions. So I'll just go down here, a couple hyper potions. This is pretty wasteful, but that's fine. So now for the team. Be showing off the Gardevoir first, because this is what I really want to showcase today. So, not the proper ability, but the same moves, except I got rid of Nuzzle for Substitute. We did get the TM for Substitute in the last part, and it's going to put in so much work. Pidgeot over here has Sucker Punch, Outrage, Glare, and Dragon Dance, so it's pretty cool. We can paralyze something, or we can Dragon Dance up and Sucker Punch things. Cleaver has Cross Chop now. Timmy X hasn't really changed, but I do want to teach it Substitute over Rain Dance, actually. So I'm going to do that really, really quickly. So I believe we got it from the... Oh, what it was. It's such an insignificant Pokemon in the last part that we got it from. But I will give it to the Ludicolo over here. Pretty cool. And again, Charizard is the same. Roserade, you've kind of already seen. Roserade is just... its moveset is really, really difficult to forge here. I'll fix that hopefully pretty soon. But I think we're good to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk to Audrey. Actually, I want to see if I can talk to Lugia. Oh, we can't. Very well, Icy. If you're ready to take on Lugia, then let's begin. I love this theme. It's amazing. Cult leader Audrey would like to battle. Also, the background is just really pretty. Just going to start off with a Lantern. Has Volt Absorb, Leftovers, has Scald, Volt Switch, Your Wave, and Toxic. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute up right here. I'm going to try to Toxic me, and it's going to fail. Go ahead and start sending up Calm Minds now. So, that's going to be amazing. So I did finally break the substitute, but that's fine, because I can set up another one. And it'll fail to Toxic me. I can set up another Calm Mind. And it really can't do anything to me at this point. I'm just setting up all over it. Look at this. This is crazy. So I'm actually probably going to be able to set up to max. Actually, probably not. I think I'll be fine without the final mind. Let's see how much we do with an Ice Beam. Because I can't actually hit this with a... I can actually hit this with a Thunderbolt because it has Volt Absorb, which is really unfortunate. I could also set up another Calm Mind, but I think I'd rather just knock this out at this point. So next up is going to be Crawdant. So this is a very special Crawdant. It has the ability Hyper Cutter. It has the Crawdadite for an item. It has Dragon Dance, Aqua Jet, Superpower, and Knockoff. That's right, this is going to be Mega Crawdant. You're probably wondering, what does Mega Crawdant do? Well, Mega Crawdant has the ability Adaptability, which is technically its hidden ability, but still. And like every other Mega Evolution, it gains 100 stat points. Crawdant is probably one of the more tame Mega Evolutions. whether it's a custom Mega or not, because its attack only gains like 25 points. It doesn't gain a whole lot of speed. In fact, the rest of the stats are distributed kind of fairly, which is pretty cool. And I think it's pretty good design, honestly. So I'm just going to click Thunderbolt. Doesn't matter what this Crawdant does, it's not going to survive. So it'll actually take out our substitute, but we will take out the Crawdant in return. So again, like I said, nothing really mattered there. Again, I think it's really good design not to just pump the 100 stats from Mega Evolution straight into speed or an attacking stat and create a sweeper. Next up here is going to be Swampert. It has Torrent, it has the leftovers, it has Earthquake, Curse, Waterfall, and Ice Punch. So I'm going to go straight for the Ice Beam here. We need to knock this thing out. It's kind of dangerous. Thankfully, a lot of her team is kind of slow compared to our Gardevoir here. Finally, she's going to send out the Lugia, though. This is kind of where the game's difficulty turns a little bit, because we're finally facing legendary Pokemon with legendary stat totals. So this thing has multi-scale for an ability. Just for anybody who has never dealt with multi-scale before in their lives, multi-scale basically means it will take less damage when it has full HP. I think it's like half damage, I believe. As leftovers, that has Aeroblast, Ice Beam, Dragon Pulse, and Psychic. So it has pretty good coverage. It's a Lugia. I'm just going to go straight for... Actually, I think I'll go for the Thunderbolt. I should live here. Oh, I'll definitely live. And we'll do serious damage to this thing. That was a really bad move on his part, actually. So it didn't knock us out because we're just so bulky special defensively here. Because Gardevoir actually has like 115 base special defense, so it's no surprise that we lived here. Next up is going to be Ludicolo. It has Swift Swim for an ability, it has a Life Orb, it has Rain Dance, Hydro Pump, Giga Drain, and Ice Beam. So it's probably going to try to set up the rain. I'm just going to go for the T-Volt here. Knock it out in one shot. And finally, the Kingdra is going to come out. It's another Sniper Kingdra set. Sniper for an ability, Scope Lens, Focus Energy, Draco Meteor, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam. I don't know. I guess the creator of the game just really liked that set. So I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, Thunderbolt's probably better. Let's T-Bolt this. It should knock me out with the Draco, though. But at this point, it's reduced its special attack by so much. It can't possibly do anything to me. So I'll just send in Pidgeot. I don't know if Pidgeot can actually do anything here. I think I'll Dragon Dance just to be safe. Yeah, that's fine. Dragon Dance, then Outrage, and knock this out. Very clean. Not bad. What? How did you? I must say, I'm impressed. You defeated both Lugia and my Crawdant. Fine, I'll let you live for now. But be warned, Icy, if you ever cross my path again, I might not be so merciful. It's time to move on to the next phase. Abyssal Cult, move out. And she'll just kind of leave us here. That's actually a really fun battle. We're finally getting some decent TMs that I can put to use and create some really cool sets for these Deltas. Because before I was just really restricted to whatever they learned. Not that Delta Gardevoir has a bad moveset at all. It basically almost swept Audrey, so that was fantastic. But anyways, I think right now is going to be a good time to end this part. We reached Miara Town, we explored the town, we got the Delta coughing, and we at least came to the Whirl Islands and put up a fight against Audrey. And we took down her Lugia. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, hope it helped, and I will most definitely catch you all on the next one. Peace.